Okay, so this video is for week 3, lesson 4. It's on what's called completing the square. So right here I have a checklist for you. Feel free to pause the video, copy this down. I'm going to refer back to it, but I'm not actually going to show you the slide another time. So there you go. All right, so here we go. We are going to solve this quadratic equation by completing the square. So step 1 is to make sure that the a value is 1. So a is right here in front of the x squared term, all right? This one, it is 1, so we can go to the second step, which is to move the c term, that's c, to the other side, and we're gonna add in 2 blanks. So it'll look like this. Here's a blank that I need to fill in. Here's the 2 that has moved. It is now the opposite, and it's on the other side, and there's another blank to fill in. So now this step right here is the actual completion of the square. I have to take half of this -4, which is -2, and square it, which is 4. And it has to go in both blanks. All right, so now if you're looking at your list that you wrote down, the next step is to factor one side. So we're going to factor this side, and we're going to simplify the other. All right, so now my last step is the actual solving step. So to solve this equation, I have to take the square root of both sides. Don't forget your plus or minus. So I have x minus 2 equals plus or minus the square root of 2. And my last step is to move this -2 to the other side. Because again, I'm solving for x. I want to know what x equals. So x equals 2 plus or minus rad 2. All right, let's try another one. Okay, so I'm going to solve this again by completing the square. So I'm going to move the -16 to the other side and add in 2 blanks. All right, and the reason I can jump right to that step is because this is a 1. So it now looks like this. All right, so now to complete the square, I have to take half of this term, which is 3, and square it. That goes in both blanks. So now I factor one side, and I simplify the other. And then I take the square root of both sides. That's the step as far as solving. X plus 3 equals plus or minus 5. Now when I solve this one, it's a little different than the last one. When I move that to the other side, I get -3 plus or minus 5. That means there's actually 2 numerical answers. One of them is -3 plus 5, and the other one is -3 minus 5. So the first one up top is 2, the one down below is -8. All right. Remember how the a value has to be 1, right? That was step number 1. So notice on this one, we have a 2 out here. So I need to make sure that that is a 1 first. So I'm going to divide all the terms, everything, both sides of the equation by 2. So that my new equation looks like this. All right, and now I should be able to complete the square. I'm going to have to move the -8 to the other side. I have to take half of this 3, which is 3/2, and square it, which is 9/4. All right, now I'm going to have to factor the left. Now here's what's kind of cool. This 3/2 is what I got when I had half of b. That is always going to be true. All right, so let's see, 8 and 9/4. If I make that as an improper fraction, let's see, 8 is the same thing as 32/4. I add that to 9/4 and get 41/4. All right, and then I take the square root of both sides. So I have plus or minus rad 41. Sorry, let me erase that. There we go, 41/2. And I move this back to the other side. So I get -3 plus or minus rad 41 all over 2.